Okay, so what we're going to do is use that one routine, and then we're going to pattern it in 6 places. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and do a few more routines. We're just going to go ahead and program one instance of each thing, and then we will do our patterning. The other instance of, so this flat occurs in 6 places. This hole pattern of 4 holes also occurs in 6 places. The pocket here in that geometry only occurs in half the instances. So it occurs in 1, 2, 3 faces. And then the diamond shaped profile is going to be in 3 places. So those have to go into different indexing operations. Now let's do our drilling. We get that all out of the way. The drilled holes on this part are the 177 diameter. So we're going to use that size drill bit. So let's do our drilling that's going to give us our spot drilling on this same face. So we're going to go to drill, and we're going to select from our tool library our spot drill. 3/8 spot drill. And on this routine, we'll take the default setting, and we need to go to multi-axis, set our tool orientation. We need to select the same face that we're coming at, and that puts the z-axis in the correct orientation, and the same x-axis reference. Now we can go to geometry, and it'll allow us to select the holes that are normal to that face. Otherwise, it won't allow you to select them. Alright, now we're going to go to the Heights tab. We're going to go ahead and raise this orange plane up just for safety to 0.75 so that our orange plane is at least above this fixture point. Okay, then we're going to go to, in the geometry from hole top to hole bottom should be fine for that feature. Okay, now we're going to go to the cycle. We're going to do a deep drilling, full retract. We'll leave the default pec depth and hit OK. All right, and it should generate our 4 locations there. All right, now let's do our through drilling. We're going to go to drill. We're going to select from our index, aluminum index, the 177.2 drill. Keep the default settings here. Then we have to go to multi-axis and pick tool orientation again. Pick the face that we're cutting. That flips the z-axis in the correct direction. Our x-axis should be in the other orientation. And then we go to drilling, and it should allow us to select the top, the countersink and the hole. You want both, otherwise it'll calculate the top of the hole in a different place. We're going to go to the Heights tab. Again, we're going to pump this up to 0.75. And we're going to go to hole bottom, but we're going to break through at the tip, and we're going to go an extra 0.1 deeper. And that way we make sure we clear all the way through this part when it's finished. Okay, and then the next op, we're going to do a deep drilling cycle, full retract, keep the default settings, and we should get our 4 drilled locations. So we got tool 1 cutting the flat. We have our countersink cut by the spot face, and then we have our drilling cycle. Okay, so those are all the features we want to, for now, we want to create a pattern for those. So we're going to go to setup, and we're going to create a new pattern folder. And our pattern type is going to be a circular pattern, and we need to select an axis. And our axis can be a cylinder in line with our 4th axis. Okay, so this is our axis direction, and we want 6 locations and 360 In our post-processor tab, we do not want to override WCS, so we're not going to select anything there. And we're going to hit OK. Now let's rename this pattern our 6X pattern 1. Just so we're making this organized. And what this allows us to do is then we can throw each of our routines in this pattern and see now this is now rotated, and it does it in 6 places around the center of our rotary, and it should output codes telling A codes to turn the A axis. Okay, so now let's throw in our spotting drills. Okay, so we should get our spotting drills at each one of the axis rotations, and then our last one's going to be our through drilling. Okay, that's a lot of squiggly lines, but basically that is now taken all those routines we just did and clocking them at 60-degree increments to each other, and we should get appropriate code. Okay, so let's move on. So those are features that happen 6 times. Now we need to do these through pockets that are going to occur in a lower frequency. Okay, so we're going to go to 2D, and we're going to do a 2D pocket. We're going to select from our menu. We could use a 1/2 inch end melt. We're going to use a 1/4 inch. We want to take light cuts on our 4th axis stuff. We'll keep the default settings. And on our multi-axis tab, again, we need to pick tool orientation and pick a face that's normal to what we're machining. And we're going to select our x-axis on an edge, and then make sure that your x-axis is still pointing to the right. And this will allow us to go to geometry, and we're going to select the inside of our pocket. Okay, make sure the arrow is on the inside. We're going to go to the heights tab. Again, we're going to bump this up to 0.75. Want to make sure that we're retracting above our fixture. And we're going to go to the selected contours, but we want to go negative let's do 0.02, and we're going to cut a little bit deeper. Your last operation is going to be put this back on a 3-axis mill, and you're going to cut out the end of this. We want to make sure these are cutting all the way through. We don't want to go from stock top. We're going to go from selection. We're going to select the top plane of this face. We're going to go to the passes tab. We're going to pick on multiple depths. Our maximum roughing step down is going to be 0.125, about half the diameter of the cutter. We don't really need a finishing step down on this because the floor we don't care about. We are going to use even step downs. Okay, we do want to do a finishing pass. We're going to use wear compensation. Our smoothing deviation should be 4/10 on that. Not 4/1000, 4/10. We're going to do 1 finishing pass, and our step over will be 10/1000. We're going to do leads on finishing. Okay, our finishing feed rate is fine. We do not want stock to leave. We will turn on smoothing, and we are going to turn on feed optimization. May not do anything on this, but and our maximum step over is 150 thousandths. Let's change that to 0.125 as well, a little bit lighter cut. Okay, we're going to go to our linking tab. It's going to default to helix, which is fine, but what we want to do is we're going to take this ramp clearance and we're going to shorten that to 0.50 thousandths above the work. We're going to look at our settings here. We want keep tool down. Okay, we want our horizontal lead-in radius, sweep angle at 90 is fine. Let's get rid of the vertical lead-in radius. And we'll hit OK. Alright, so now we've got this going in. It looks like as it approaches this first turn, it's going to slow down a little bit. Okay, now we're going to do this pocket, which will be happening 3 times. And what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this routine we just made for the oval shaped pocket, and we're going to regenerate it. And the first thing we need to do is go to the multi-axis tab, and we're going to select a different face, because this pocket is not normal to this face. We're going to pick the alternative face. Our x-axis edge is fine, that hasn't changed. And then our geometry, we're going to deselect what we have there, and we're going to select this other diamond shaped pocket. And then our heights tab, we do need to change the face that we're selecting. So we're going to deselect that and pick the face that corresponds with the diamond. Everything else we should be able to keep at default. And we've now cut the diamond shaped pocket. Okay, each of these features happens 3 times over 360 degrees. So we're going to go to Setup. We're going to do a new pattern folder. Okay, and again we're going to change that to a circular pattern. Our axis, we're going to pick the inside cylinder. We're going to do 3 instances over 360 degrees for this pattern. We're not going to set anything on post-processing, so we'll hit OK. And let's change the pattern, this folder, to be 3x pattern 1. Our first pocket in that folder. And if we highlight the folder, we can see that it machines it in the other 2 instances. And then we're going to throw our diamond shaped pattern in that folder as well, and it will also clock it on its 3 corresponding faces, keeping the original, which is in light blue. Next, these things. These are wrapped pockets. As you see, the bottoms are cylindrical. So that is a command that you can use on pretty much any 2-axis command. Can be used on a wrap, but it only works in 4th axis. It does not work in 5-axis. We're going to go and we're going to machine these pockets. So you're going to go to 2D. You're going to do a 2D pocket, and we're going to select from our library our 1/4 inch end mill, tool number 3, and we're going to leave everything at default. We're going to go to our multi-axis tab and we're going to hit wrap. And this is all 2-axis commands have this, except for I think 1. And we're going to do one of these 2 triangular features. Okay, so we're going to select the cylinder of the first one. And we have to do these separately. It sets our radius. We're not going to use an offset. Our geometry is going to be the outside of that pocket. Which I believe is supposed to have the arrow on the inside of it. But we'll see how this goes. We're going to go to the heights tab, and we're going to set this at 0.75 because we want our rapid plane to be larger than the diameter of our fixture here in this case. Our top height, where it's going to start machining right now, is stock top. We're actually going to go to selection, and we're going to pick our cylinder of our workpiece, and that'll start its feeding in. And then our bottom height is going to be the selected contour. Now we're going to go to the passes tab. We're not going to leave any stock, so we're going to deselect that. Multiple depths. Let's do 0.0625 is our maximum roughing step. We're not going to do any finishing step downs in Z though. We will use even steps. We have passes on the side. We're going to use wear compensation. For wear compensation, we're going to do a smoothing deviation of 0.4, And we're going to use one finishing pass with a 0.01 step over. We're going to do leads on all finishing, and then we will finish only at final depth on our multiple depths. We're going to use morph spiral, our maximum step over. We're going to do 0.0625 on that one as well, because we're cutting a contoured face. We want the bottom to look a little cleaner. We're going to pick the smoothing tab, and we're going to pick feed optimization. We're going to do in computer. Our post-processor was giving us errors on cutter comp, so we'll just leave that as is. This is the linking tab. We're going to leave in our radiuses. We're going to take out the vertical lead-in radius, and we're going to drop our ramp clearance to 50 thousandths, and then we'll hit OK. Okay, I don't think that's what we wanted. That's machining outside of the pocket, gouging into our part. So let's go to Edit and go to Geometry, and we're going to flip that arrow to where it was originally and hit OK. Alright, so we've got our spiral in. We got 2 depths, and it cuts this pocket. Alright, now we're going to move on to this other pocket, and what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the toolpath we have, and we're going to go to edit that toolpath, and we really just need to change a couple things. One, we have to deselect the face we had selected before, and we're going to select the one that's associated with the next pocket. Then we're going to go to the Geometry tab, and we're going to deselect the chain that we had selected and select the one that's associated with the new path. And then we're going to go to the Heights tab, and we should be able to leave all of that at default. And our Passes tab should be everything at default. And our Linking tab should be everything at default. And we'll hit OK. Okay, and we've got our next one spiraling in with morph spiral and doing our machining on that particular one. Okay, what we're going to do is our pattern for our pockets. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Setup. We're going to do a new pattern. Again, it's going to be a rotary pattern, circular pattern, and we're going to select our axis as the center of our object here. And we're going to do, it's 4 instances. We're going to keep the original, and we're going to hit OK. And we're going to change our pattern to a 4x pattern 1. And we can throw our first pocket in there, and we see it makes it in its 4 locations. And then we throw our second pocket in the same folder, and we get our other instances of it.